Hello mga kabadis! Andito na naman tayo sa ating Easy Yarn Channel. Pangalawang installment na po ito sa ating Mag-Food Negosyo Tayo series. At dito, tatalakayin natin ang mga patok na food negosyo ngayong 2022. At kung para sa iyo ito, paano magsimula sa food negosyo? Kasamahan ninyo ako sa video na to. At mag-subscribe kung hindi pa, dahil marami pang videos ang susunod dito natatalakay sa mga makabagong food business hacks. Paki-like and share na rin po. At ito po ang joke natin for this video. Use patok, simula, warning in a sentence. Tok mo si mula, no? Diba house warning nila now? Easier! Ano nga ba ang mga patok na food negosyo ngayong 2022? Maraming pwedeng gawin or pagpilian. At ito ang mga recommended ko. Kung ang puhunan mo ay 10,000 pababa, street food negosyo ang praktikal. Dahil di mo kailangan marunong magluto dito. Kung marunong kang mag-deep fry, yun na yun. Yung mga ibibenta mo available sa palengke. Pero maganda rin kung marunong kang magtimpla ng sauce para meron kang kakaibang ibibenta. At saka service, customer service ang importante dito. Dapat nakangiti ka sa customer, matchika ka, at saka maboka. Dahil patayan ng tubo dito, napakanipis. Pero pag masipag ka, bebenta ka. Kung ang puhunan mo naman ay around 100,000 pesos, milk tea kiosk ang patok ngayon. Yung isang furniture ko na kiosk sa Cubao, yun, more or less 100,000. Depende kung sarili mong design or ipa-franchise mo. Pero kung makakagawa ka ng sarili mong timpla ng milk tea and a range of products worth 100,000 would be a good starting capital for a milk tea kiosk. Ang importante sa milk tea, masarap siya at affordable. Ang kiosk kasi in-expect ng mga customer na affordable. Hindi naman sobrang mura, pero something na kaya ng bulsa. Matutuwa sila kapag mura na, masarap pa. Tuwan-tuwa sila, pipilahan ka noon, dudumugin ka. Pero matuto kang mag-pricing, mag-costing, at mag-break-even analysis. Panoorin mo yung isa kong video. Kung ikaw naman ay merong puhunan na 1,000,000 at marunong kang mag-bake or meron kang kapartner na pwedeng maging industrial partner, specialty bakery ang umpisahan mo. Hindi naman yung sobrang sosyal na bakery. Yung bakery na furniture ko, yung Dexter Bakery, yun. Kailangan meron kang range of specialty products. Mga 3 products na talagang matindi, talagang malupit, na baked goods, papato ka doon. Ang dami kasing bakery ngayon, pero wala, pare-pareho sila na tinitinda. Parang sari-sari store. Pero kung mag-specialize ka, or isang set of baked goods na talagang ikaw yung gumawa, ikaw yung nagtimpla, i-test mo muna. Kung may pera ka, pamigay mo, pa-taste test mo. Hanggang sa ma-perfect mo yung timpla. Merong potential ang specialty bakery ngayong 2022. At kung ikaw naman ay anak ng isang konyo o nanalo sa loto, meron kang 10 milyon pataas na pangpuhunan. Nako, mag-fast food franchise ka na lang. Mas safe yun na investment. Pili ka ng mga patok na fast food franchise. Yung mga subok na. Sa food business kasi ang hirap mag-umpisa na malaki ka agad. May pera ka, 10 milyon. Magtayo ka ng sarili mong brand. Swerte mo pag dinumog ka sa first month mo. Pero isusustain mo yun. Kailangan kakaiba talaga yung food negosyo mo at that investment. Pero kung may 10 million ka at may existing food business ka na, palakihin mo yun, palaguin mo. Lagyan mo na magandang branding, positioning, and targeting. Papatok yan in 10 years time. Matagal na kasi yung mga existing brands sa market, di ba? Jollibee, well, family of brands yun. Jollibee, Chowking, Greenwich, and may mga coffee shops pa siya. Same with Max, family of fast foods din yun. Chain of fast foods din yun. Max, Yellow Cab, Krispy Kreme, etc. Jamba Juice. Sa level ng fast food, ang hirap pumasok. Napakahirap. May pera ka, you might as well invest it in another food business. Food processing or farming. Food din yun. Pero kung gusto mo na sure food negosyo with that amount, 10 million and up, choose a good fast food brand. Pwede ka nga matulog hindi ka magpapatakbo. Ganun pag may pera ka. Money makes money. Paano ba magsimula sa food negosyo? There are 3 steps in starting up a food negosyo. First step is to strategize. Second step is to plan. And the third step is to execute. Iisa-isahin natin yan. To strategize and plan, you have to go through 3 types of audit. Audit of self, audit of the market, and audit of the opportunity. Under the audit of self, there are 4 elements that you have to check out. First is capital, and that is your capacity to invest, the amount of money that you have. Second is knowledge, functional and technical. In food business, it pays to have the technical knowledge. You know how to cook, bake, and the food business itself. Food is technical in nature. There is science in it and of course art. And the functional side of knowledge is the soft skills, leadership, people management, those things. And time. Do you have time for the business? You may have capital, knowledge, but you lack time because you have other businesses to attend to. Your food business may suffer. And the last one is support team. If you're alone, maybe getting into a food business is not a good decision. But if you have a support team, a good support team, your immediate family, your kids, your spouse, then there's a big chance of making it in the food business. So audit of self is about looking at things that you have, capital, know-how, time, and support team. The second audit that you'll make is audit of the market. audit of the competitors, audit of your customers, and audit of your suppliers. Food business is a very tough industry. It's super competitive, and you need to know your competitors well. Paglabas mo pala ng bahay, if you're into like bakery, ang dami mo ng kalaban. If you're into milk tea, bawat kanto meron. So, hindi biro makipag-compete. And your customers, kung existing business ka na, or if you are acquiring existing food negosyo, look at the customer base. Kasi yun yung pinipili mo. If it has a broad customer base, sustainability na lang ang challenge mo. And of course, suppliers. So, tingnan mo kung sino ang magsusupply sa'yo ng pangangailangan. And the last audit is the audit of opportunity. First is about the product. Is your product an original one? Ideally, it should be unique. It should be original. The industry likes originality. And kapag ikaw nauna, malamang ikaw ang mananalo. Take for example, the Zagu. Nauna siya sa milk tea. Hanggang ngayon, andyan pa rin siya. Si Andox, nauna siya sa lechong manok. Nandyan pa rin siya. Jollibee, well, hindi siya nauna sa burger, pero pioneer siya as a Pinoy burger. Sweet spaghetti, crispy fried chicken. Your product, if it's an original one, there's a big chance of success. And then the second item, is your store a physical one or a digital one? Sa mga panahon ngayon, pwedeng all digital ang food negosyo mo. Mahirap nga lang kasi bago. Pero hindi imposible. Marami ng all digital food businesses. So, pag-aralan mo yung mechanics of these things, the physical food business and the digital food business, magkaiba yan. I'll have another vlog on this. Then the third element is it a fad? There's a lot of food businesses that are faddish. Yung isang iglap, wala na. If it's a fad and you want to try it just for the sake of trying, then go for it. But you know the risk that you're taking. Otherwise, look for another food business that is not a fad. Is it local in your area or national? For example, merong nauuso ngayon na rabbit-chon, lechong rabbit. And there are areas na patok siya. So locally available or locally successful. Pero hindi pa siya nationwide. So yung mga ganong cases, are there any restrictions in the food business that you want to get into? Like the halal food, maraming restrictions doon sa raw materials, the way you prepare food, etc. So you have to make an audit of these things. Are there any issues in the food negosyo that you will get into? For example, if your raw material is pork, issue doon yung ASF or even yung beef. Sometimes merong mad cow issue, those things. So you have to make an audit of those issues. Ano yung magiging impact ng mga to sa food negosyo mo? Have you done your feasibility study? Importante yan. Well, kung street food lang naman ang papasukan mo, minimal yung feasibility study na gagawin mo. Pero kung papasok ka sa big time food business like food processing or fast food franchise, medyo papagawa ka ng feasibility study or ikaw nang gumawa mismo kung a feasibility study is a good starting point. And of course, last but not the least is your business plan. Dito mo i-detail ang inyong business strategy and the action plan. A strategy is a scheme of getting your business ideas into action, into fruition, making your vision a reality. And it can be done through a strategy. While a plan is a detailed action of executing your strategy. So, magkaiba tong dalawang to. Strategy is a scheme of things, how you want to get your vision transformed into a reality. And finally, the last step is execute. So, there's no point in strategizing and planning if you are not executing it. Hindi ka makakapag-umpisa hanggat hindi mo inuumpisahan ang iyong food negosyo. Warning! Be money savvy or else you will fail. Ganon sa food negosyo. Kailangan marunong kang humawak ng pera. At isang dapat gawin ay ihiwalay ang pondo for capex or capital expenditures. Ito yung fund for putting up your physical store, buying equipment, tools, systems. Hindi mo dapat ihalo sa pondo for working capital or yung day-to-day operation. At ang yung pondo for day-to-day business operation or yung working capital dapat separately accounted for. Hindi dapat ihalo ito sa capex. Hanggat maaari, may separate bank account ka dito. Kasi yung pondo for working capital, mabilis ang ikot nito. At kung meron kang ibang pagkukuhanan ng working capital, ihiwalay mo. Kasi iba yung flow ng working capital. Iba yung rhythm niya. Hindi katulad nung pang-capex na mabagal. Yung turnover of money in capex is very slow. For example, maglo-loan ka for working capital. Iba yung collateral dito. Maglo-loan ka for capex, iba yung mga requirements doon. Huwag mong paghaluin ito. It's a sound money management to separately account for these funds. Your funding for capex and for your working capital. And this is the summary of what I've said. In the usual operation, you'll get sales and purchases or cost of sales and expenses, yung mga semi-variable expenses. And of course, it will result in either profit or loss. So that's the outcome of your working capital. And you need to understand the flow of money in your operation through sales, cost of sales or purchases, expenses, and profit or loss. If it resulted in profit, a portion of it, put it in your capex fund. 20%, 30%. Depends on your need. And then, the rest, put it back in your working capital. So, iikot yung pera mo. And that's how you manage your money. And then, of course, you have a separate management for your capex. You keep track of your borrowings and your payments.